Hey everyone, Jeremy Now here, your favorite consulting manager, public accounting career liaison. I'm happy to be taking the time today to discuss your accounting related career questions. I'll be doing my best to give you the most honest and straightforward answers while providing tangible and real life tips that you can implement in your career right now. The timing works out pretty well for this video because September is the month where fall recruiting really kicks off. You have your Meet the Firms events, you have your interviews for internships, you have different firms presenting at Beta Alpha Psi and other accounting society meetings. So I put together this video and hopefully many future videos to act as a resource for all students out there who may want more of a understanding of what public accounting is really like. Many college kids that I've talked to expressed an interest in wanting to gain more firsthand knowledge about the career and specific related topics, including, what's the difference between consulting and audit? What does consulting really entail? How many hours you're going to work, etc. We'll go over many of those topics and plenty more in these videos, so stay tuned. And special shout out to my Chico State students for putting these initial questions together. I'll see you guys at your Meet the Firms event later this month, and I'll probably see you at Riley's afterwards as well. So make sure you like and comment below to keep the relevant questions coming, and let's get this thing going. Consulting is an umbrella term for basically anything outside of audit or tax. Consulting basically just means helping out a client with something that they can't do themselves. In that sense, tax could be considered consulting, but it's large enough where it's kind of branched off into its own subgroup. Audit is different than consulting because audit is providing third-party assurance to investors, banks, or any other entity that would be using the financial information to give out a loan or to put their money in to invest. I'm a consultant, and to be honest with you, I chose consulting simply because it sounded sexy out of college. I interviewed for audit, I got an audit job, but I chose to go to consulting purely because of that. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I thought it sounded cooler, so I did that. I had no idea what practice area I was really, getting myself into. I knew the name, that's about it. And I think many college kids make the same mistake as I of picking consulting when they don't know what subgroup or practice area that they're getting themselves into. So if a recruiter ever talks about a consulting position, make sure you ask in what practice area, because a consulting position can be anything from an IT technical support person for an enterprise resource planning system, so basically IT support, to being the underwriter for an IPO for Uber. So there's a huge range there. Just to mention a few of the consulting areas that we have at my firm, we have equity valuation services, we have governance, risk and compliance, which is the group I'm in. We have outsourced finance and accounting, which basically do the books for smaller companies that can't do it themselves. And we have any ERP systems, implementations team, and support team. I'll create another video to dive deeper into each branch. Let me know which ones that you'd like me to go into, and I'll create those videos first around those specific areas. GRC is my specific area. That's governance, risk, and compliance, and it encompasses internal audits, risk assessments, SOX testing, and controls testing. At this point, those words don't mean much to you, but the idea is that for the most part we do SOX testing, and the idea is that certain public companies have to be compliant with the Sarbanes-Oxley law. You've probably been introduced to that law at some point in your accounting classes. They have to be compliant with the law as part of their external audit. So management, basically the company either doesn't have the resources to do it, or they don't have the expertise to do the SOX audit. So they'll hire an external party, which is our public accounting firm. So what we'll do is we'll go in there and we'll look at their risk areas. For instance, one of my clients is a biopharma company. They create drugs essentially, and we hypothetically, we want to make sure that their chemicals used to create their drugs don't go bad. That would be considered a risk area. We want the scientists to basically determine if they go bad, so that we basically make sure that their scientists make sure that their drugs haven't gone bad. That's what you call control. Basically making sure that the company does what they're supposed to do to cover their risk areas. We basically review what the scientists did to make sure that their drugs are still in working order. We review it for reasonableness, clerical accuracy, look at their calculations, stuff like that. And if their scientists didn't look at the drugs, there's a potential that their inventory is bad and there is a misvaluation on their balance sheet. And we might be able to call that a material weakness, depending on how large it is. And a material weakness is something that would potentially sway an investor to make a different decision than they are currently doing based on the new facts. So that's kind of an overview of the full consulting umbrella, what it entails, and then a little bit of a detail on my specific area. Again, leave a comment for the other areas that you'd like me to dive in deeper, or if you'd like me to go into either further detail in my own group, GRC. I hope you found some value from these insights today. Good look at your recruiting events, and please like, comment, and subscribe for more insights from the other side. Good luck out there.